Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. Make sure you watch the whole video today because I'm going to be laying out a series of arguments and it would be most beneficial if you heard everything. So basically in this video, what I want to do is I want to explain to you why the Bitcoin 4-year cycle is still valid, as in a Bitcoin price of $100,000 by the end of 2021, or whatever the price is at the cycle top. But this happening sometime around the end of 2021 has not been invalidated and is actually still very much on the table. And to really get a sense of the counter argument to this, that, hey, maybe the 4-year cycle is BS, maybe the cycles are lengthening, I want to take a look at some of Benjamin Cowen's work into the cryptoverse. He has a YouTube channel. I like him a lot. And you know what? He might be right. He argues that we will not see a cycle top at the end of 2021 and that Bitcoin cycles are actually getting longer. So I pulled a clip or two and I want to show you what he says. Like always, guys, if you're watching this video right now and if you're excited to learn about something new and maybe even have your opinion challenged, give this video a thumbs up. The more people who like this video, the better it will be. So first, let me give you the argument as to why the 4-year cycle, whether it's right or wrong, has not been invalidated yet. Because a lot of people seem to think that Bitcoin's current price is too low at this point in time for the 4-year cycle to still be valid. But, and let's get into this now. So I'm sure you know, but I want to get everybody on the same page. Historically speaking, it's only after Bitcoin breaks above its all-time high where the greatest price movement occurs. And actually, to be more precise, historically speaking, 9 months after breaking the all-time high is when the new cycle high occurs. 9 months from top to top. And you can see that the 9 months happened in both previous 4-year cycles. Right here, 2013. Right here, 2017, the final period of the 4-year cycle is where the biggest gains are made. Bitcoin's price moves the most in the final 9 months. So while it might take years of sideways action and years of consolidation to eventually break above the all-time high, eventually break above what is now 20,000, when Bitcoin does break above the all-time high, to go from the all-time high, which is now the old cycle top, to the new cycle top, historically speaking, this happens in less than a year, and actually closer to 9 months to be more precise. My point is, I don't know how you feel. Maybe I see this in the comments all the time. I kind of feel like the sentiment has been kind of negative around Bitcoin lately. Some people in my last video said 4-year cycle is BS. Some people questioning whether Bitcoin's price will even go up at all. I think that the 4-year cycle and that the eventual top around the end of 2021 is still a realistic possibility and will probably remain a realistic possibility until we see how it plays out. We have to wait for this year, and we even have to wait for the beginning of next year. Because since historically it only takes 9 months to go from the old cycle top to the new cycle top, if we expect the new cycle top to happen at the end of next year, 2021, which is what the 4-year cycle suggests, that means that we wouldn't need to see Bitcoin breaking 20,000 until February or even March of next year, because that would give us 9 months until the end of next year. And of course, the actual time may vary. Maybe it takes until May of next year to break above 20,000, in which case maybe the cycle top wouldn't happen until actually February of 2022. But let's not split hairs. If that happens, the beginning of 2022, that would still be congruent with what we know about the 4-year cycle. And even in the original Bob Loukas 4-year cycle videos, this was his second video, I believe. He published this a year ago, all the way back in April of 2019. Even in April of 2019, and this was when the 4-year cycle was just beginning, Bob Loukas didn't have us breaking above all-time highs until the beginning of 2021, so it's still congruent. The actual price level that Bitcoin's at today is actually exactly where Bob Loukas thought we'd be when he made the video about the beginning of the 4-year cycle. And you can see, even back then, he projected us to be at $7,000 or $8,000 at today's date. Now, obviously, the path we took to get to this level is a lot different, but my overall point is that the 4-year cycle is not invalidated yet, and we're actually still on track, even if we don't break above $20,000 until January, February, March, even April of next year. We could still see a $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2021, or whatever the cycle top price turns out to be. Could be lower than $100,000. It could be higher than $100,000. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly December of 2021. Give or take a couple months, right? So, it's a fact that the 4-year cycle theory isn't invalidated yet. Maybe it will be invalidated, but we just need to see what happens. Now, I want to pivot and give you the counter argument. I want you to meet the man who's making the case that the Bitcoin cycles are lengthening.
Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to be talking about lengthening cycles and a lot of evidence to support it. So I'm making this video to go through, most of the charts that I feel like support the evidence or provide the evidence that lengthening cycles are the name of the game and that the 4-year cycle theory is likely not true. I should not say it's definitively not true because I don't know. And most everything I talk about here will be some level of extrapolation. And if you're familiar, if you're in the sciences, then obviously interpolation is generally okay. Extrapolation is very dubious. So I did my PhD in engineering, so I have a lot of experience with this stuff. I'm not just some high schooler off the street that is just throwing a few charts together. So please at least hear me out.
So this is Benjamin Cowen into the cryptoverse. He recently made this 40-minute video giving data science, giving every single argument he had as to why he believes the cycles are lengthening. This is going against the grain, so this is kind of like interesting to see this different perspective. And lengthening cycles could very well be the case. Personally, as I brought up in the beginning of this video, I am still a 4-year cycle believer. I've made a lot of content on this before. Bob Loukas, he's a cycle expert in his own right, but I always like to hear different perspectives, and Benjamin Cowen does make some great points. This is what he covered in the 40-minute video.
In this video, we're going to cover the fair valuation of total cryptocurrency market capitalization, and I'll explain that in a minute. We're going to be looking at trends in the price action after the halving, followed by logarithmic regression fit to non-bubble data. We'll talk about that. We're going to look at the number of price changes at each paradigm shift, the running return on investment, moving average derivatives, the doubling time bands, so the time it takes to double, and we're going to look at the development of those bands over time, and also fundamental reasons. And this will be one video that is going to cover everything, so that in the future, when someone asks me, in the future when I post a video about lengthening cycles versus 4-year cycle, and someone says, oh, well, did you consider this? I can say, okay, here's the video, you go watch that. Because as it stands, when someone challenges me, I have to send them like a report and then 4 videos, and who's got time for that? So let's just make one video, and you can share this with your friends, see what they think. Let's go ahead and jump in.
You know what I just realized? I don't think we have enough time to really get into this. I mean, really, what we're doing now is starting a whole new video, a whole different point of view. And Benjamin Cowen has so many good points. I don't want to, if I just cover one thing he says, that's not really going to do his argument justice. So here are our options. Either you can watch his video yourself. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Very important. Make sure you write under this video, Altcoin Daily sent me. Or, and I don't want to pull a lot of his clips if I don't have his okay. So actually, if everybody goes to his channel, this video, and under this video writes something like Altcoin Daily sent me, if everybody does that, that would be a good icebreaker that I would need so I can talk to him and see how he feels about it. And then maybe I can do a separate video on this. Believe it or not, I do like to talk to these guys and get their okay before I pull a lot of their clips. Because the story we have with Bob Loukas is, I don't know if you guys remember this, I pulled clips from his original 4-year cycle video. But once he started his own YouTube channel, I stopped pulling clips from his like 4-year cycle content out of respect to him. I did it once, and then out of respect, he was now a peer in the space, I stopped. He continued making 4-year cycle content. Then all of a sudden, one day, I got an email from him inviting us to pull clips from his latest video and direct people to his channel. This was over a year ago. So I was like, well, whoa, Bob, you're into this? Hell yeah, I'd love to. Anyways, that's it for today's video, guys. Make sure you like the video, support the channel, check out Benjamin's video if you'd like. Make sure you comment underneath, Altcoin Daily, something or other. And that's it, guys. Subscribe to the channel, because if you want to stay up to date on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, this is the best channel to do it, in my opinion. I'll see you tomorrow.